Raptors welcoming in the Philadelphia 76ers to town tonight. A possible round one matchup in, about a few weeks. And they win it. 119-114. And improved to 47-33 on the season. We hear before the game, no Fred VanVleet due to rest. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of get it, right? You know, he's been banged up a lot. You're a game and a half up in this, for the number 5 seed. So I get it. And still no OG Anunoby, but again, it might be a precautionary thing with him as well. Problem though, you're facing the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're a very good basketball team, and you lost 2 of your really good perimeter defenders. This can either go one of 2 ways. It can go very well, and hey, we're talking about an incredible game, which we're going to, or we could have talked about an abysmal loss and was sat here and said, if we had Fred and OG, and I would have just calmed myself down that way. But instead, the Raptors come out, and they lay an egg early on. But PASCAL, all NBA, and if he doesn't get in the all, it's a sham. It's a complete and utter sham. You damn near tooting that everybody was watching this game and the Bucks and Celtics game tonight. And because this is 4-5, possible round one matchup versus and 2 versus 3. You damn near, you know this was being watched. And watching the Raptors and watching PASCAL dominate this game, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. We have so many things to get to. This might be a really long video, but let's start early on. As I mentioned, it was not a good start. Raptors were down 20-6 at one point. I believe they were down 15 at one point. It did not look good early. The shots weren't falling. They couldn't miss from distance. It was gross. And they were making a lot of threes. And I'm like, well, no Fred, no OG, 2 of your better perimeter defenders. This is going to hurt you. But then as the first quarter went along, who held the Raptors in it? PASCAL Siakam. Then once he got his feet wet and started getting into his groove, everybody else followed suit. And the Raptors found a way to get it to only a 7-point deficit, 33-26, after 1 quarter of play. We go to the second quarter, and the Raptors battle right back. And at one point, they have a little lead. They end up trailing by 4 at the break. They're +3 in that second quarter, 30-27. You're down by 4, 60-56 going into halftime. You got to find a way to come out. And I was scared, right? Because they were shooting the 3 well going into the half. And I'm like, okay, that's nice, but our perimeter defense right now is a little shoddy, so I don't know. Whereas the Raptors, they were shooting the 3 lights out. And I'm like, can this continue? I mean, that was my question the entire way. But you know what the Raptors did? They locked in defensively. In that third quarter, not only did PASCAL go off and have 15 in the quarter, everybody made it happen. They made everything tough for Joel Embiid, even though he still ended with 30 and 10. I'll get to him in a bit. The Raptors end up getting a 2-point lead at the end of the third quarter, but PASCAL Siakam getting the last second shot at the end of the third quarter, a little push floater to go with a 1.8 in the clock. They look for the buzzer beater shot, miss it. Raptors up 2. Going into the fourth quarter, they won that quarter 31-25. Now it's closing time. It's virtually a tie game. You're only up by 2. And this right here, in my opinion, is the turning point. PASCAL Siakam sits on the bench to start the fourth quarter. And they were up by 2. He comes back in at about 7-minute mark, 7:30, in that range, 7 to 8 minute mark, in that range. That's a 4 to 5 minute stretch. The Raptors, when he comes back in, are up by 7. Like, are you kidding me? The Raptors went +5 when he was not on the floor. And you know who run the charge there? It was Gary and Scotty Barnes. Scotty made a 3, got the dunk in transition. I mean, that might have been not on that play, but he got the layup over Harden that he was looking for the N1. I mean, he was phenomenal in that stretch. Then PASCAL comes back out. He's like, young boy, thanks for that, pal, but I'm here to take this game over. And he does. PASCAL gets 8 in the fourth quarter. And the hard shots. Can we talk about the plays late? Where PASCAL drives on Embiid, goes for the layup, Embiid goes flying down. PASCAL's like, oh, no, pal, see you never. And just floats it up and through as Embiid goes flying by. Oh, that was nasty. Then the next one. He's driving. Was it on Tobias Harris? I can't remember who it was on. He drives on him, fires him a tough shot. He misses it, gets his own rebound with contact, puts it up and through and one. And I'm like, oh my God. This guy is playing out of his mind. Now, PASCAL is known to dominate the 70s. I believe he averages like 28, 8 and 5 or 8 and 6 or something like, basically his season average this season. But he's been dominant against Philly, and it showed again tonight. Whenever Philly made a little run, PASCAL answered. And Gary answered. Like, we're talking about PASCAL at 37. Gary at 30. Like, we're not even sitting here and talking about it. PASCAL gets the triple-double, and Gary knocks down 30, and we're not even talking about it. It's pretty crazy stuff. Raptors win that quarter, 32-29. They inbound the ball properly, and they win this game. And they win it 119-114. And also, I'll get to Precious in a second because this guy was phenomenal. The Raptors have now beaten the 76ers. They're 3-1 against the 76ers, 2-2 against the Celtics, 3-0 against the Bucks. Who says the Raptors can't do this? It's incredible what this young team is going out there and doing. Let's get to these players. Precious, a flippin' Chua, is insane. Like, there are moments when we talk about his confidence kind of going a little through the roof, and we're like, okay, we're going to tone it back a notch. Well, I'm going to talk about one play, and you all know where I'm going with this. You know, they contest the shot from Embiid at one end. He falls down. Precious grabs the rebound, and he runs the floor, and he gets on the top of the floor behind the three-point line, and in transition, chucks up a three and drills it to make it a 10-point game. I believe that was his fifth made three of the game. And I'm like, hold up. Was that Precious or was that Kyle Lowry? The transition three for Precious at the top of the kid. Are you nuts? But holy smokes, that kid is on fire. 22 years of age, and he's doing things like that for this team. When Masai Ujiri said, "You're finally mine, I finally got you on my team," I think we're all seeing why. Everybody questions Masai all the time, right? When they make a move, even some moves, I've been like, okay. But then I wait, and I'm like, oh, that's the reason. Precious Achiuwa is 22 years old. He dropped 24 and 2, 7 of 11 shooting, 1 of 2 from the line, 5 of 7 from distance, and 1 steal, 1 denial. Now, there are some games where he'll struggle. There's no doubt about it. But in a game at home against a Philadelphia 76ers team who you might face in the first round, it looks like you might have a good opportunity to face him in the first round. And with no Fred and no OG, you know you need to be an offensive force. The guy goes out there and drops 20 and drops down 5 threes. Precious has been incredible. Scotty Barnes, as I mentioned, started the game real slow. I think he had 4 points and 7 boards going into the fourth quarter. He ends the game with 13, 10, and 2. That tells you the amount he did in that fourth quarter. It's weird. Scotty, half the time, like at halftime, you're like, damn, he hasn't really done a whole much, even through the third quarter. He hasn't done really a whole lot. He hasn't really done a whole lot. Shots aren't falling for him. And then he makes 1 3, and then everything clicks. It's crazy. And I ends the game with a double-double, 13, 10, and 2, 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from distance. Great job from Scotty Barnes. And he's the best hype man on the planet. Are you kidding me? When PASCAL hit that shot, the end one that I was talking about earlier, he's right in his face. You can see the vein. He is jacked up. Scotty B, you'll love it. And let's get to the man. The myth, the legend. PASCAL Siakam. This is why us fans are not the general manager. This is why we don't make moves. Because if that's the case, and we did, PASCAL would have been gone a year ago. Yet he's still here. And he's damn well should be on the all NBA 13. No doubt. 37, 11, and 12 tonight. 14 of 28 from the... Not like he just tucked up 40 shots. No, he shot 50% from the field. 14 for 28. 8 of 10 from the line. That's what I love to see. 1 of 7 from 3. That's fine, man. That's fine. When you're checking the heat checks, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. 2 steals. And by the way, he only played 37 minutes. He had 37 points in 37 minutes on 14 of 28. It's just ridiculous stuff. Gary Trent Jr., by the way, that triple-double for PASCAL is the 4th 30-point triple-double in franchise history. You got Damon Stoudemire, Vince Carter, Fred VanVleet earlier this season, and now PASCAL Siakam. Ridiculous. Gary Trent Jr. had 30 in the game, 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. 12 of 21 shooting, 1 of 1 from the line, 5 of 8 from 3, including faking one and seeing Tyrese Maxey go absolutely flying by, and then drills one late. Now, Maxey's an incredible player, though. I got to say, he is an unbelievable talent. 21 years old, he's doing stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Fantastic player. But Gary Trent Jr. got him on that fake. Let's get to the bench unit. And by the way, that Gary Trent Jr. 30-point performance is his 10th 30-point performance of the season for GTJ. So great job from him. As much as I love to talk about him more, I'm already at 10 minutes and I want to get through this. Thaddeus Young and Chris Boucher. Points-wise, field goal percentage-wise, yeah, not there. But Thad Young had 3 steals in the game. Boucher had 6, where am I going? 6. 3, I guess 3 plus 3. 3 blocks in the game for Chris Boucher. And he took a charge on James Harden, I believe it was, after denying Danny Green on one defensive play. The next defensive play down the other way, he takes a charge. Incredible for Chris Boucher. And by the way, when those two guys were on the floor, Thad Young plus 22, Chris Boucher plus 16. They made it happen. And by the way, shout out to Malachi Flynn. Only made the 1 shot in the game, but it was a 4-point play. You love to see it from the young guard. Fred was amped. The team was amped down the sidelines. You love it. Absolutely fantastic. The team overall, Raptors shot 50% from the field, 46% from 3, 78% from the line. I love that 78% from the free throw line. It's nice in there. Philly did shoot 49% from the field, 53% from three-point range, and 84% from the line. So you think, hey, that's really good. Yes, it is. But Raptors were plus 4 on the glass, plus 6 on the offensive glass. The Raptors doubled them. They only had 6 offensive rebounds. Raptors had 12. This Raptor team, and they fought. They were dogs tonight. And also, plus 6 in the turnovers category. We only had 10 turnovers. The Raptors turned them over 16 times. I believe Joel Embiid turned it over 5 or 6 times himself. So there's that. Raptors plus 14 in points in the paint off of those plus 6 offensive boards, plus 8 in second chance points, plus 12 in the fast break, and plus 6 in the turnovers. Off of those 16 turnovers, Raptors were plus 10 in the points off of turnovers categories. They made them pay for their mistakes, and that's what this Raptor team is so damn good. And I wrote down Embiid and Harden's stats because I wanted to tell you guys. James Harden had 13 points, 4 rebounds. He had 15 assists because obviously the Raptors were just doubling them like crazy and forcing other guys to beat them, which they did, shooting 53% from 3. However, he was 3 of 12 from the field and 1 of 4 from distance. They did a hell of a job containing him offensively, shooting the ball. And Joel Embiid, yeah, he had 30 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 10 of 22. But this is a 37% three-point shooter this season. He was 0 of 4 today. And at one point, Joel Embiid was 9 of 16 from the field. You guys can do the math. That is 1 of 6 for the remainder of the game. When it needed the most, the Raptors locked down tight and got it done against Joel Embiid and the Sixers. Incredible. They're 3-1 against the Sixers this season, and Raptor fans, 2 games remain, and if the Raptors win 1 game, or the Chicago Bulls lose 1 game, the Raptors have locked up the 5th seed. You play the Rockets tomorrow, which is a Friday, and then I believe on Sunday, you play the Knicks, and that wraps up the season. You win 1 of those, you're good. You're in the 5th seed. So tomorrow night, the Raptors do play the Rockets, and do not be surprised if Gary doesn't play, because he played 40-plus minutes tonight. Don't be surprised if PASCAL does not play tonight, or in that game against the Rockets. And yeah, if they end up losing, whatever. It's not a big deal. You have a 2-game lead over the Chicago Bulls. It is what it is, right? And if you need to play your guys against the Knicks, you need to play your guys against the Knicks. But honestly, I'm so proud of these guys. They're doing an incredible job. What a game tonight for the Toronto Raptors. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game this evening, because if you didn't, you're probably not a Raptor fan, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game day for the Toronto Raptors? The Twitter link is down below. So follow up, send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leaf session very shortly, as of right now, after 2 periods, up 2-1 against the Dallas Stars. Austin Matthews gets goal number 55. We'll talk to you guys post-game then. And for the Toronto Blue Jays, ooh, baby, tomorrow night, downtown is going to be a ruckus. You have the Raptors and Rockets, and you have the Jays and their season opener against the Texas Rangers, John Gray, Jose Barrios on the mound for the Blue Jays. I will be at that game, so these two videos will be uploaded later than usual, but they will be uploaded tomorrow night. I'll guarantee you guys that. All right, and as for the Toronto Raptors, as we know, they look to lock up the 5th seed tomorrow night, Friday, 7:30 tip-off there as they take on the Houston Rockets at Scotiabank Arena as they look to wrap up the number 5 seed. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. We'll talk to you guys then.